Swing and a drive. Get up, bar. He's done it again. A two-run shot in the first.
Hey guys, thanks for joining us again. Spring training is almost over and things are becoming much more clear. We're going to talk about starting pitching today, as we might have one of the best rotations in the league, but we also find ourselves in a lot of uncertainty right now. So join us for a few minutes as we try and kind of figure out the puzzle that we're looking at to start the year. Logan, what do you think is gonna? How do you think it all shakes out? We've clearly got Bassett, Barrios, Kikuchi, and
Yes.
then what? How does that go in your mind?
I don't know, man. I think the easy answer is Francis, and then we cross our fingers that Gosman's back and Gosman pitches. Okay, Bowie doesn't like that idea.
Yeah, apparently. Yeah,
So
yeah,
what's probably going to happen is Francis pitches, and then Mitch White has a start with maybe like a Trevor Richards piggyback type thing, and they get through that, and that gives Gosman one more day.
so we're saying Gosman's not even ready for the fifth start, first time around.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I really like. There's
Yeah,
We'll know more, I think, tomorrow because he threw a side session today or yesterday, and it's more about how he's recovering, right? So
yeah,
we just have to wait and see what the recovery from that's like, and then there'll be more possible information as to when he's going to start. But I think currently this is more likely, and that's why Mitch White kind of got some extended innings yesterday. No, yeah, today, yesterday. I don't know. There's so much baseball I've been watching,
yeah.
um, and and Francis will get one start as well, maybe more.
Yeah, I do think that presently, if you want to say like just in terms of seniority, I think that Francis is going to be our fifth starter to start the year, and I think they'll give him at least two or three times through the rotation, barring health and all of that kind of stuff going on,
Yeah.
before
Yep.
they make a decision one way or the other with him. And then, like, I think you're right. I think you're probably right on Gosman. I was thinking maybe we'd get Gosman as a fifth starter first go around, but the time there just doesn't seem to be enough time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't think there's quite. I mean, we could, but like, why risk it if there's these options?
yeah,
I know that's tough. Like, it's against Houston that you have a bullpen game in the first week of the season.
yeah,
That's not ideal. Um, but like it's probably the best option instead of rushing Gosman.
yeah,
And yeah, I think that's how it's going to start anyway. And then, like you said, they'll go through the rotation a couple of times when Gosman comes back in, including Bowden Francis, and see how he shakes out, and give Manoah some time to figure out what the heck is going on there.
yeah. Like frankly, I think Manoah's down the depth chart a little bit extra. So, if everybody gets
And
healthy
two of
here,
us.
real quick, and we're back to kind of a normal rotation. So then you say you have your top four guys and Francis as sort of
Mhm.
those guys. Um, I have to think that that Rodriguez is going to get a chance. He's only got one option, and I believe that that was built into the contract when he signed on, knowing that they were going to need the time to get
Yeah.
him up to speed, get him into the country, make sure that stuff was all smooth before the season. But like just to get enough time and runway to bring him in. But the
Yeah.
one option will be used when he starts the year in the minors, and so when he comes up, he's up. I think that um, I think he'll stick. Now you
Yeah.
can now the way options work is you don't just like an option is used every time you come up or down. It's the year, so
The year.
you could send him back without putting him through
Waivers.
waivers
Yeah.
if you needed
Exactly.
to.
Yeah.
But I think they're going to want to have a look at the guy they're paid a whole lot of money for sooner than later.
Well, he's our biggest free agent contract in the offseason, right?
Yeah.
So I think they want to get him on the team. I'm just not sure that the plan is starting rotation for him. I think they want him as a depth piece for starting rotation, but I think ideally they want him in the bullpen, doing the same thing he did in Japan, where he was quite successful at it. But I know he wants to be a starting pitcher. I know that's part of the contract is to try and make him a starting pitcher. Um, I just think his first steps are going to be in the bullpen, and we'll see him. We'll see him sooner than we think because once he gets like stretched out to maybe being able to throw like I don't know 65 or 70 pitches, that's enough to get into the bullpen. So I think we see him sooner than people think, and not in the starting rotation.
Okay. That's an interesting take. I do disagree, but I see the logic for sure, especially with his history in Japan. That all makes a lot of sense. But I think that they have eyes on him being a being a starter, especially given our current depth situation.
Well, the thing is I mean they might need him as a starter, right?
Well, the other side of it is there's no need, there's no space for him in the pen. We would literally have to release Mitch White or somebody else to make space for Rodriguez to be called up into the majors if it's in the pen. Uh, just
Well,
with
and
the
I
amount of
think that's kind
spaces.
of I think that's probably sort of the plan. Like, right, he's the backup guy for if Mitch White doesn't really work out. Finally, I know they like Mitch White a lot and they've given him a lot of chances, but this is obviously the last one. He doesn't have any options, right? So if he is on the team to start the season, which we both think he's going to be,
Yeah,
and then he doesn't work out, then you got like Rodriguez that can slot right into that spot
yeah, yeah.
uh,
You'll have
and
to
do
send.
everything he did. So
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he could it could be for sure Rodriguez, and then bring him into that role. But I mean, he was a setup slash like late inning guy
yeah,
in Japan, and we have quite a
set up
few
pitcher
setup.
of the year in
Yeah,
2022.
and we have a lot of setup late inning high leverage guys in our bullpen already. So
Yeah,
I mean, I guess we'll see how they do use him. He didn't
yeah,
look bad at all in his first action, his first couple innings, so that was
yeah. It
good.
was
That was
pretty good. Yeah,
yeah, it's encouraging for sure. I wasn't sure what we're gonna get, so
yeah, me
um,
neither.
we'll see.
I mean, the biggest question is obviously the Manoah situation, right? Like
Yeah, I
we
mean,
once we see what happens with him, then we can kind of answer more of these questions, really. But
there's just like there's no time for him before the season starts to get up to
yeah,
speed.
like no, like
So
he's obviously
right,
not
like
starting
he
the
has to start in
season with
AAA.
the team. He has to start in AAA.
Yeah,
But if he just like goes off in AAA and Francis is just okay, they're going to make the move, right?
sure, sure.
And bring him up, and then is he going to be able to be a major
But
league pitcher again? Like I have lots of questions.
what is the sample size that you need in trip? Do you want to see in AAA from Manoah to determine that he's going off? Like if he goes in and pitches two starts and does really well in those two starts, is that actually enough?
No, no, I want to see him start like 5 games or something. Like it's going to be a few weeks.
Yeah,
Like he's got to like prove that he can do it, bounce back, do it again, maybe have a hard game, bounce back,
a
do a
good
good
game.
game.
Yeah,
Like you
yeah,
need to see, you need to give him a chance to like possibly struggle down there and see
yeah,
if he can bounce back down there.
yeah.
So I think it's going to be some time. You got to give him some time down there. And do we have that kind of time? I don't know. We start off the season with one of the hardest schedules,
Well,
right?
yeah, like
Like Tampa Bay, Houston, Yankees. Like,
clearly Manoah is not ready for the big leagues to start the season. Like that's just not. So we do have all kinds of time. We have all the time we need with Manoah. He's not the answer. Like it's right now.
yeah, that's
The
a fair
thing
point.
about Manoah is he's
Let him get
he's
through it, right?
yeah, he's
But
saying he's never been in the minors. Like well, not been in AAA. So like actually
yeah,
go pitch in AAA, earn your way back onto this team, and I mean his stuff
earn it,
plays.
right? exactly.
His stuff plays in the majors. We know his stuff plays. So it's
You can, yeah.
he just has to get that. I don't know if the edge. His sort of. I feel like I watched him in that one start, and he looked like a golfer that has the yips, that has
Totally.
all of the training equipment on his head, and like he's trying to, and so now every single mechanical
Yeah.
motion he makes, he's like hyper, just like hyper evaluating
Yeah.
each thing he does, and I
He's
think it's
fully in
just
his own head.
the mechanics are in his head, and he just
Yeah.
needs to like there's a level of balancing out to the just throw the ball kind of just
Yeah.
throw the ball kid kind of situation,
Yeah.
that he needs to get back to, I think, and
Definitely.
hopefully hopefully he can, man.
I mean, if he can
Like,
find it, then we're back to the best rotation in baseball,
absolutely, and with depth, and with
and
enough
with depth,
depth,
right?
yeah, for sure,
Like a couple of guys after that, right? So like that's the
yeah.
thing. So if he can't find it, then we don't have any depth either.
Well,
So a
yeah,
lot hinges on him finding it, right? Like,
yeah, the
or
quality, yeah,
like
everything
we
takes
kind
a
of talked
shift
about
down.
earlier, is the like how many chances do we give him before we try and like start bringing in other guys?
Yeah, for sure, exactly. And
So
we have the trade capital, or some trade capital, to
yeah.
make some of that happen.
Oh, and there's tons of people out there that'll be like, oh, he just needs the right coach, or he just needs to change scenery. He'll still have plenty of trade value
Yep,
if
yep,
they do it
for
soon,
sure.
right?
Yep,
Like if they let him just fail for a whole season, then we're screwed.
yeah,
But
yeah,
uh,
yep, yep.
so
Well, and we have
right now, a week before the season starts, our starting rotation has three guys that we're all
yes,
pretty pumped on. Like
yeah,
maybe we're not as pumped on Kikuchi as we might be, but like
yeah, we are, we
he'll
are. He'll be
be
fine.
Kikuchi. Um, I guess we should say Barrios was announced as the opening day starter today,
Yeah, and as it works
so
out, he'll be the home opener as well.
he'll be the home opener as well. Okay, there you go. That's cool. And then Gosman will be back second series at some point, right? We're pretty confident of that. So a lot hinges on Bowden Francis doing well, which we all think he can. We've
Yeah,
got faith in him. He's seems to be a pretty good pitcher. And
he
Manoah bouncing back,
he's got the best numbers on the whole team for the spring.
right?
Bowden Francis, like,
So
best earned run average, as
yeah,
far as pitchers guys pit with that amount of, well, outside of Jose Barrios, I should say.
like
Yes,
he's going to go out there
but
for the fourth start or fifth start, whatever it ends up being for him, probably the fourth start. So what's that? Game 4 against Tampa?
yeah,
Yeah, game 4 against Tampa, and give you 4 to 5 quality innings,
yeah.
and then we'll bring in the
Well,
bullpen.
just like any other rookie that is a good pitcher, they're not going to have a book on him, and he should have a good chance to be relatively effective in his first couple
I
outings.
think
Like,
so too. Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, for sure.
So
Well, that kind of sums up our starting situation. We don't know what Manoah's situation is as far as how he's going to progress. So that's gonna be a big
yeah,
determining factor on
there's
how
obviously a couple
things
of really big questions there. So
kind of, yeah, set up in the next like 3 weeks, kind of month situation.
yeah,
But for now, Francis, Rodriguez, and White are sort of the guys that should be on your radar for the fifth starting role kind of situation. So
and probably like in that order.
yeah, I think so. Yeah. Yeah.
No,
And
not
White, and just to note, White is going to be on the roster
going to be
already,
on the
likely
roster.
as a reliever, so he will start from the relief spot if he starts. That's just a kind of extra note, I guess, on White.
Yeah,
Yeah. All
it'll
right.
essentially be an opener situation, right?
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well,
Well, guys,
thank you guys. If you took anything from the video, please give us a like, maybe subscribe to our channel. Everything helps us grow our channel, and gets us more chances to talk about the Blue Jays, which we love to do. So thank you for joining us, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Okay.
go
Take care.
Jays.
Peace.